Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Let's start our video with the story in which OP, working at paper clips in the printing and shipping department, has an unforgettable run-in with a Karen who brings a whole new meaning to difficult. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Karen calls me disgusting because I helped someone before her when she left the store. So I work at paper clips in the printing department, and part of my job involves shipping. I had this lady come up to the counter and said she was here for shipping, but she had nothing with her, which was just very odd, but okay. So she left the store to go to her car to grab her stuff. While she was gone, someone else came up for shipping, but they had their package and was ready to go. She was gone, and we literally started nothing. So I went to helping him, and while helping him, I was also teaching my coworker how to do the shipping process. It's pretty simple and straightforward. The only issue is that there's only one computer that can do it. So while I can juggle multiple customers at once for other things, for shipping, it's sadly one at a time. I'm about halfway through the process when the lady returns, and I say that I'll be with her in just one moment. At most, she waited about a minute. Once the guy left and I put his package in the tub, I asked how I could help her, and this is how things went. Karen, you were so disgusting and vile. I can't believe you did that to me. This is the worst customer service I've ever had in my life. If I'd known this is how I would have been treated, I never would have come here. Me, very confused and thrown off. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I can still do the shipping for you if you'd like. Karen, you're going to tell me how much all of this is going to cost. We can make quick quotes for people. We just have to do one package at a time, though, and she has 4. So I grab one, put it on the scale, and ask for the zip code of where it's going to. It's going to Alabama, and we're currently in California, so it's on the other side of the map. Me. All right, so UPS Ground is our cheapest options for, can't remember the exact price, but it was about $20, and it'll arrive on the 27th. Karen, that's bullcrap. You aren't telling me how you're charging me. This is a Christmas present. It needs to be there before Christmas, not after. Me, I start to turn my computer screen around so she can see the other fast but more expensive options for shipping. We do have faster Karen, I don't want to see your crap. I want to know how you're charging me. Me, well, UPS charges based on weight, dimensions, and how far it's going. And that's the estimated price for just this one package. She argues and bickers with me for quite a while about the prices and how I'm disgusting and vile for charging her this much. And honestly, I'm shocked at how well I was able to bite my tongue, since I kept apologizing and stated that there isn't anything I can do about the prices. Eventually, I'm able to go through the shipping process for 2 of her 4 packages, because they're both going to California, so the pricing was a lot better. She's still calling me disgusting, so before we start the Alabama packages, I finally ask what I did that upset her so much so that I could do better for next time. Karen, it was so disrespectful and rude of you to ignore me while you trained your coworker. I was here first. First, you were not ignored. I acknowledged you when you came back. Second, yes, you came into the store before the gentleman, but you left and we didn't have anything started at all. That's how lines work. You left the line, you were gone completely, so I helped the next person. Anyway, we're about halfway done with the 3rd package when another person comes up and I ask how I could help them. They're here to pick up a print order. Me, I'll be back in just a moment. Karen, no you're not, you're helping me. You're not going to help her or anyone else until you're done helping me first. You don't serve the entire store. 1, that's literally how stores work nowadays. We help everyone and juggle as many people as we can. 2, I'm the only one in the printing department, so I have to juggle a bunch of people anyway. But I just smile and nod and return to shipping her packages. Thankfully, another coworker was available to help. I finally get near the end for the 3rd package where I show her the prices and, well, she's not happy. To get the package to Alabama before Christmas would cost like $60-something. Shipping's pricey, and once you start wanting it expedited, it gets even more expensive. And while I can't remember the exact size of the package, it was decently big, too. So honestly, it wasn't that bad of a price considering what it was. But she got very mad. Karen, you are the most vile and disgusting person I've ever met. Are you really charging me that much? The gift inside isn't even worth that much. Me, would you like me to get a manager? Karen, no, I'm done here. I'm never coming back here. You were so disgusting and horrible. I'm leaving. I'm done. Me, all right. Well, I can still ship out the first two we finished. The first two had labels on them and were in the system. She just had to pay for them. Karen, didn't you hear me? I said I'm done. I'm not paying for anything here. I'm taking my stuff and leaving. And she did. She grabbed her crap and left. Thankfully, canceling orders is really easy. Just have to find it in the system. But still, just wow. I did talk to my manager about her, and my manager was so shocked and surprised. She knew that the lady was a bit of a handful, but she didn't think she'd be that bad, and asked why I didn't radio for her. She was in the back, so she didn't hear or see anything that went on. I didn't call for her because I was pretty sure if I did, the lady would have blown up even more. There's coal and black sludge where her heart used to be, if she ever had one. Where's the line that needs to be crossed when you can just refuse to serve someone? That's just straight up abuse, harassment, and shouldn't have been tolerated. She should have been kicked out the second she called you disgusting. Sorry you had to endure that. And our second story. Dressed up for a class presentation and accidentally became a Blockbuster employee. Setting: the mid-1990s, mid-sized city on the east coast of the U.S. I was a college student who normally wore the traditional late teen, early 20s male uniform of worn jeans, band t-shirt covered by plaid flannel, and Chuck Taylor all-star high tops of varying colors. I was enjoying my sophomore year at my small college when I was tasked with an oral report in my current literature class. I knew the material, spoke often in class, and engaged well with the teacher and my classmates. Things were good. I decided that for the presentation, I would actually put an effort into my appearance. I shaved that morning, put on the few dress clothes that I had brought from home, and even wore a tie. I thought that I cleaned up pretty well. The presentation was well received, and I felt good about how everything went, so after class, I decided to walk myself across the street to partake of a rented movie from the local Blockbuster video rental store. For those too young to remember, once upon a time, you had to physically go to a store and choose a movie to watch, rent a VHS or DVD copy, and return it to the store when you were done. It was actually a really fun experience, and was even more fun when they started to rent video games as well. It also made you choose something you may not have chosen otherwise when your first choice was out. For further information on this topic, I recommended the film Be Kind, Rewind, starring Mos Def, Yassine Bey, Jack Black, and Danny Glover. As I perused the store, I noticed that a couple of boxes were out of place, so I put them back in order as I decided what to watch that evening. An older woman turned to me and asked, "Excuse me, young man, but I'm taking care of my grandkids tonight and was wondering if this movie was appropriate." "Oh, Goonies? That's a classic. There are a couple of scary parts for the younger kids, but it's nothing worse than what they'd see in a cartoon. They should really like it." She thanked me and was on her way. Another woman asked where the romantic comedies were, so I directed her to them. A man asked me my opinion of John Carpenter's The Thing. Wow, I thought to myself, my professional appearance must exude cinematic knowledge and expertise. People can't stop themselves from asking my opinion on film. Maybe I should put more of an effort into dressing well. As I approached the counter with my selection, I was brought out of my contemplation by the sight of the Blockbuster assistant manager behind the register. He was wearing a blue button-down shirt, tan trousers, a brown leather belt, and loafers, and a tie. I was wearing a blue button-down shirt, tan trousers, a brown leather belt, and loafers, and a tie. The realization hit me. Oh. Anyone remember the machines that would rewind your video for you? Look like toy cars? Man, those were the days. And our last story. Someone's been fraudulently renting out my house. I recently drove by my old house in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm currently in the process of refinancing it and catching up on mortgage payments. I hadn't been by in a while, so I wanted to check on it. But when I pulled up, something strange happened. A person I didn't recognize came out to greet me. Confused, I asked, "What are you doing in my house?" They responded, "I've been living here for a year. Who are you?" That set off all kinds of red flags. I'd never authorized anyone to rent out the place, and as far as I knew, the house had been vacant ever since the last tenants moved out. The person living there gave me their identification and even shared contact details for someone they've been paying rent to for the past year. At this point, I was stunned. I'm assuming the tenant doesn't know they're living there illegally, but it's obvious someone's been fraudulently renting out my house without my permission. To make matters worse, I've been struggling to catch up on mortgage payments. The house was close to foreclosure before I worked out a deal with the lender to keep it. The lender never mentioned anyone living in the house or that the property had been rented out. This was a total shock. I had no clue someone had been collecting rent on a property they had no legal right to. I went to the county GIS office and confirmed that, yep, I'm still the rightful owner. Now I'm left wondering, who in the world has been pulling off this scam? Update. After weeks of dealing with this mess, I've got some good news to share. I hired a lawyer and we started digging into this whole fraudulent scheme. Turns out the person who'd been collecting rent was posing as a property manager running a scam where they rented out properties they didn't even own. My house was just one of their victims. They'd been pulling this off for a while, targeting unsuspecting homeowners and tenants. It took some time, but we finally caught the fraudster. They were charged with multiple counts of fraud and are now facing legal consequences. They've been ordered to pay back every cent of rent they collected from my property, plus damages and my legal fees. As for the tenant living in the house, they were completely in the dark about the whole situation. Once it was clear they were just as much a victim as I was, I gave them time to find a new place. Thankfully, they were able to transition smoothly into another rental. Now I'm focused on getting the property cleaned up and restored, ready to move forward. It's been a wild ride, but we got to the bottom of it, and justice was served. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.